The old people ordered the dancing should stop at 10 o'clock, but it was almost midnight before the carriage came peeling up by the parting guests. The girls is already go upstairs in their bedroom while the young men is still gathering around to wish them a good night while finishing their drinks. The men quite drunk already, and they already felt wild spirit, arrogant and audacious. They continued to enjoy while the girl desiring them and screaming in the window, crowded giggling. The girls were quite banished with the wink young men and their handsome apparel. They began to think how carefree men are and how awful to be a girl. And then an old girl named Anastasia pulled their hair and ears, told them to go in their bed. Anastasia started to tell a story about witches. It was the first day of May tonight, she said, a night of divinations, lover, and to those who look in the mirror will behold the face of the man they destined to marry. All girls are afraid. They started screaming and wanted Anastasia to stop because of fear. But a young woman named Ajeda wanted to go in the mirror because she's believing in superstitious magic. Ajeda started to cry loud while leaping to the floor and forcing Anastasia to tell her what to do. Anastasia told her, "You must take the candle and go in the room that is dark and that has a mirror in it, and close your eyes and say, 'Mirror, mirror, show to me whose man I will be.'" She also said that if all does not go right, Ajeda will see devil. And all girls scream again, forcing Ajeda not to go because it is a sin. But she's so persistent and went outside. He tried to imagine that the room is full of light, but when he opened it, it was so dark. He saw a big mirror hung on the wall, a big antique mirror with a gold frame carved into leaves and flower, and a mysterious turquoise. He slowly approaching peerly the mirror, but when he stood before the mirror, he lifted the candle level with her chin, and dead mass blown in her face. He closed her eyes and whispered the incantations. When he finished, unable to move. Unfortunately, he saw the devil. Presently, Ajeda saw her daughter. He told the story and the devil he saw on her left shoulder. Ajeda also reminded her daughter not to admire herself in every mirror he passed, because he may see something frightful someday. Her daughter asked about the devil's look, and he said it has a curly hair and scar on his cheek, like her father. But the scars on her father's cheek is because of honor, and the devil is because of sin. The boy showed up and wanted to dance with Ajeda, but he does not want to. He cried. He went to her and put his hand on her mouth, but Ajeda bit his hand sharply. Don Badoy shouted because of pain. He's thinking to hurt Ajeda, but his mind also thinking how he can ride the boat with Ajeda. He sang loud in the dark room and realized that he's in love with Ajeda. But suddenly, he also looked in the mirror and saw his old self. His heart forget, got distracted, and made time passes. The world darker and fall into a decay. Don Badoy walked without memories. He's old, a 60 years old man. He saw his grandchild named Bolfir. He said that he also wanted to look in the mirror to see his future wife, but Don Badoy told the story about the mirror and the witches. He remembered his poor wife Ajeda, who died already. He compared Ajeda to the witches inside the mirror. The story tells to the reader that love cannot found in magic. Love can wait and it comes in perfect timing. We don't have to believe in magic. A rush love does not work. Wait, someone who's sure about you. The beginning of the story already showed a conflict or a problem being encountered by the characters. The story started in dancing party but Anastasia, an old woman who talked about mirror and the witches. The story is quite complicated and the reader possibly hardly to get the meaning of message of it. The author used a lot of metaphorical and symbolism in the story. If the story started with Don Badoy and Ajeda's married, it won't be complicated, and the plot will explain well, but the conflict will not be emphasized. setting choice of the story is perfect in all events and scenarios inside the story. It happens in Don Badong House in Intramuros, Manila, Philippines. We all know that a lot of old Filipino believes in different pamahiin. Mirror. The mirror symbolizes a reflections of love between Don Badoy and Ajeda. As a married couple, they should reflect on each other's thoughts, feelings, and even their pain, because it was their responsibility to understand each other even at their worst. Candle, it symbolizes a light. It tells that Don Badoy and Ajeda should give light to each other. The story of Mayday Eve narrated by the third person point of view because they use the word she and he. It is a good choice of point of view because the narrator explained and narrated the story well and the reader did not felt confused. The story of Mayday Eve is quite messy. It contains a lot of deep words that hard for me to understand. The author used a lot of symbolism that make a story more creative yet confusing. It is a good story. There's a lot of lesson and realization you can get. It also give a lesson to the reader about love. Love need a perfect timing. It is so interesting. The author is creative because he wrote this kind of story, but it does not get my interest that much.